So today I'm using the Onefinity to do my adjustable shelf holes on this really deep cabinet. This is quarter sawn white oak, 31-inch deep cabinet. I'm just now removing this panel, so let's do that. I have these 3D printed clamps that I've put together, and believe it or not, I'm using Conformat screws in 5mm holes in my grid on there. This was the left one, and now I'm going to do the right one. I'm using little shelf clips to hold it. Here's the one on the back, clamping her down and running the program. And there we go. And instead of putting these all the way to the back, I have them about 6 inches away to make it easier to put the shelf clips in the field, because this is just so deep. Okay, so I put the cabinet on some sawhorses so that it's easier to clamp the face frame on top of it. So this is the frame. There's no top piece to it, but it's about 1 inch down from the top. So I've got it all clamped up. You can't always get it perfect, but you can get it close as possible. Like here, I had a ridge, an edge, and I don't like to have that necessarily. Waiting for that to dry. I've got the base cabinet over here built. I've done the same method with screws. This one I screwed up. It's a 5-inch face frame on the bottom. Standard technique, a couple of nails to hold together and then a bunch of screws. This is the face frame for the base cabinet. And I'm using these pieces to help separate and locate the rails and go like that. So I use this 1/8 of an inch bit for pre-drilling. My glue is already in there. Okay. And then a 1.5 inch face frame screw. So this one I have to add the glue to all of them at the same time. That's why I like Titebond 3. You want this as tight as possible. Add our stick here. There's my face frame ready to go. Right about there. The most critical part is up here. Right here, this thickness. Make sure it's flush here. So I have the 2 most critical clamps on now, with this being 3/4 of an inch. So I've got all the clamps on, as you can see. And on this one here, it's ready for a single door. This one sits on top of this one. That's why this bottom rail here will overlap on top of this piece and butt into these 2 stiles. These are some of the drawer fronts for this job. It's a quarter sawn white oak. I order all my doors and drawer fronts because I don't make money on doing that part of the job. And I even order my drawer boxes, the recessed panel. But since this is made out of solid wood, I prefer a panel that's about 1/2 inch thick to make a very stable door, especially on a tall one like that. So the easiest way I have found to put these doors on inset face frame jobs is to lay your cabinet flat if you can, and then just make a mark. So here's that line, 1 7/16 back from here. And then I just have my spacer, which in this case is 3/32 of an inch. And then I'll screw it in that spot with the spacer in there. Shim this up so that it's even with this surface here. And that should work. I might add one in the middle because see right here it's even. Here it's even, but here it's sticking out. So I'm gonna add a 3rd hinge. So I've added a 3rd hinge right here, and now you can see the door falls inside, so I need a stop. So I put one of these stops that is on kind of like an eccentric, as well as here at the bottom. So that when it closes, so you can see it seats when it closes, and I can adjust these in the field to whatever I need, and it's ready to go. Now I just add these protective skids to get this off of my bench. And then I use my Tech Glide tool that I always use, that I created for this with a magnet. Holds that, makes it easy to put it on, just like that. Just like that. Now I can safely get it off the table. And put it in the shop easier, just like that. Since this cabinet is over 30 inches deep and it would be difficult to do the slides with it standing up, I have it on its side and I've cut these sticks here to indicate where the slides go. So I just rest it against there and put the screws in. And then cut your next stick so it's just above here. For each slide, do it that way and it'll go much faster. And then you just flip it over and do the other side. So you can see here I have my placement sticks here for this slide. Set right on those sticks. This distance, which is 7/8 of an inch from the face. You can use one of these Vicks bits to help place the screw, or you can just do it by eyeball, whichever you choose. Okay, and then place your screw. Throw in a third screw is always a good idea. I'm gonna go ahead and add a shim here and at the back. Once we've done that, we just flip the whole thing over. And I've already done the top one. Okay, and then just make sure it's set back the right distance. Pretty much center it by eye. Up against that, flush at the bottom. And put the drawers in. So a real quick note on the way I do the drawers with Salici hinges. Because I use 1/2 inch drawers, you have to add a spacer of 1/8 of an inch here for the clip at the front. I always use 1/2 inch bottoms so I can screw straight down, because otherwise you'd have to screw into this side. I prefer myself to have a 1/2 inch bottom. And then that goes back there like that. And we're good. We can bring it out of here, but we have adjustments for that. So these are the adjustments we have. This one brings it forward and back. So the drawer will come out or in, depending on what you do here. This one is left and right. So there's a little tiny arrow here. So pushing it back makes it go that way. And then bringing it back, the arrows line up and then going this way. You'll want to do this one and the other side equally as you do this, just to keep them even. This is the release mechanism here. It pulls it out of the slide so you can pull it off. This is back and forth to bring the drawer in or out. My favorite technique is to use shims here, is to have some what I call drawer front screws. It's just these round washer head screws, 1 inch long. I use this one here, which is an Amana countersink, but what's good about it is I can adjust that drill bit to the right depth so it doesn't go through my drawer front. You'll see that in a second. First I drill 2 holes and add the screws slightly sticking out of the drawer, and with these shims in there, so then I just take the drawer front, put them on those shims, center it, and you can use your eyes or you can use another shim if that works. These are all 3/32 of an inch. And of course this is gonna stick out a little bit because those screws are in there. So you don't want them to stick out too far. As you can see there, I'm a little bit close to too far, but that should be fine. And then I just give it one hit and take that out. And you can see here, there's one hole and the other hole. For me, I have this set at 7/8 from here to here. And I'm gonna pre-drill these holes, and I'm obviously not gonna go all the way through, but I'm just gonna be careful and go about half the distance of the drill bit, 7/16. Okay? You won't go through if you're careful. And if you want to, put a piece of tape or something on there. And we don't need this anymore, and we can bring this out a little bit. They will self-locate right there, just like that. It's a really nice technique, much preferred by people like me. Okay, so you can see it's a little to the left. Now that's adjustable, and I don't know why that happened, to be honest with you, because usually it's probably because I had the screw sticking out a little too far, And so things moved on me as I hit it. This can be fixed. So I got done making the adjustments and it's good. I'll do better on the next one. Okay, so here's the next one above. Same thing, but I've made these just barely sticking out, just so that they're sharp enough to penetrate and make a hole in the back of the drawer front. Set that on there. I'm gonna use another piece of 3/32 here. If you really wanna be anal, go ahead and put a one here too. And let's just hit it right in the middle and remove these. Okay. That's an 1/8 of an inch drill bit. Probably a good idea now to come out a little bit farther so that it self-locates a little bit easier. Farther. Okay. Self-locate there and there. Let's see how we did. That looks pretty good. It definitely keeps dropping on me, so I might want to go higher in the future because I've had to raise this up now using the mechanism. It doesn't always happen, but sometimes things like that occur. Not a huge deal. These things are adjustable. You can raise it up a little to the left and right. Let's go to the right by pushing it back. There we go. Pretty good. It needs a little bit of tilt for some reason. Let me figure that out and I'll be right back. So I've got this flush and I'll show you what I did. I had to bring the slide up in the back to do that. Sometimes you got to tweak things. Okay, so I removed the middle screw and the back screw, but before I did that, I put this screw in right at the very top of that slot. And then I moved the slide up. So that had to move up and I did it equally well on this side. So I went up probably about an 1/8, maybe 3/16 of an inch. Okay, and there we go. It needs to go up a little bit, so I'm gonna push this back. And here, I went a little too high on this side. Goes in increments kind of. And that's good. There we go. So you want to make sure these arrows are lined up because that's the center point of going left and right. That's the actual center point. So you want that the same on both sides here. That one's a little bit off. So we bring that and we line that up. It's good. Okay, now we're ready for the drawer front. And then I pre-install the 1-inch drawer front screws. Long sucker. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit higher than we want. Good. Okay. Okay, I screwed that one on. I have some adjustments to do. Just a little bit up on this side. And we're good. I also need to add 2 more screws into all of these. So I just adjusted it a little bit in and out, and I think we're pretty good. So there we go. And for the most part, I don't know what the handles or knobs are gonna be. I have to add this tape to make it easier to open and close them and remove them and install and all that stuff. I've already added these screws in this drawer before, so let's go to the next one. And then I pre-drill here and here. Wait. And then this one. Woohoo! Okay, so I'm done with this cabinet and ready to put it down and double check that the other cabinet, that one over there, fits well on top of it. So you see the overhang here on the upper cabinet and the lower cabinet is 3/4 down. In the field, after these are attached and that's against the wall, I'm gonna attach a tall piece of Baltic birch similar to this. It's gonna cover the whole side all the way to the ceiling. It'll go behind the frame here, and they're gonna tile on top of this. There's a toilet right here, so this drawer is gonna go over the tank of the toilet. Okay, here we are. This is the tub, the bathroom, and we're putting the cabinet in this corner. Let me turn around to show you how small this room is. Okay, we've roughed this in, so we're gonna add a stud up here because we have nothing to connect to on the left side here. Okay, so we added some more bracing because we want to make sure this is nice and solid. So we've got some shims in there. We've got a lot of screws to those studs because this is basically going to be a wall. right there. We didn't even have to scribe this side, so that's good. All right, so I've got that on there. This is the really nice heavy-duty Baltic birch. I had a seam here, but the seam where the two cabinets connect is behind here. So that's going to be really strong for the tile. And we have quarter sawn oak here. Looks really nice, as you can see. We have the 30-inch drawer. Opens up over the toilet tank. These are all 15-inch drawers so that they don't hit the toilet. Let's look in here. You can see there's shelving. That top molding went on pretty easily. Tight Bond 3 and a couple of Grex nails to finish that off. And this seam, like I was mentioning, came out so it's pretty invisible. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.